Hello, welcome to the Self Learning Podcast by Dr. Sushma Singh. Let us start Unit 3 City and Metropolis, and our topic is Town or City according to Indian Census. The Census of India has defined urban or town by combining legal population, occupational, and density, which is clear from the definition given below. All places with municipality, corporation, cantonment board or notified town area committee etc. All other places which satisfied the following criteria: a minimum population of 5,000, at least 75% of male working population in non-agricultural pursuits. And this criteria has been used in many other ways as well. The confusion arises as in some census updates, the criteria is stated as 75% of all working population, 75% of adult male population, and also some use non-primary rather than non-agriculture. A density of population of at least 400 persons per square kilometer. The above definition underwent a slight change during 1981 and 1991. The urban criteria of 1981 and 1991 censuses varied somewhat from that of 1961 and 1971. The workers in occupations of forestry, fishing, livestock, hunting, logging, plantations and orchards, etc., falling under industrial category, were treated under non-agricultural activities in 1961 and 1971 census, whereas in 1981 and 1991 censuses these activities were treated as agricultural activities for the purpose of determining the male working population in non-agricultural pursuits. Besides the discretion of directors census in consultation with the state government to treat some places having distinct urban characteristics as urban, even if such places did not strictly satisfy all the criteria mentioned under category B. Above was discontinued at the 1991 census, and it has been followed in 2001 census also. The criteria A is city. Any urban area with population of 1 lakh or more is treated as city in the Indian census. Now let us move to the next point, sociological definition. Some scholars have defined a city as a place which has become so large that people no longer know each other. Sombart calls this a sociological definition. For very small cities, the statement is patently incorrect. In big cities, face-to-face contacts are more numerous than anywhere else in the country. For this reason, Sorokin and Zimmerman correctly consider greater number of contacts as an urban, not as a rural characteristics. In India, small towns are just like villages, where such definition may not be applicable. Now let us move to the next point, multiple criteria. Since the quest for a single criteria has met with no success, some authors, notably Sorokin and the Zimmerman, Munier and Sombart, hold that a proper definition must consist of a combination of factors, multiple or compound definitions. Munier's own solution, however, is hardly satisfactory. According to him, a city is a complete society whose geographical base is particularly restrained for the size of its population or whose territorial elements is relatively larger in amount compared to that of its human element. This formula is only an elaborate way of defining a city as a habitat of great population density, since it fails to explain at what degree of density a settlement changes from rural to urban. The definition loses its usefulness. Sorokin and Zimmerman are much clearer. They assemble 8 characteristics in which the urban world differs from the rural world. They are occupation, environment, size of community, density of population, heterogeneity or homogeneity of population, social differentiation and stratification, mobility, and systems of interaction, that is, number and type of contacts. Some of these characteristics have been discussed above. All these characteristics are present in both cities and villages. The question here is, at what stage a rural area turns into an urban area. Now let us wind up the session and take rest. Thank you very much for engaging yourself with the self-learning podcast.